On August 15, 1977, a telescope in Ohio picked up a signal so unusual that the astronomer on duty circled it and wrote one word: wow. It lasted 72 seconds. It never came back. That was nearly 50 years ago, and scientists still can't explain it. But here's what most people don't know. The wow signal wasn't alone. Dozens of similar transmissions have been detected since, studied briefly, then buried. Subscribe to our channel and drop a like to help us out. The pattern is always the same. Detect, investigate, go silent. Here are 25 signals they refuse to discuss. Number 1. August 15th, 1977. A radio telescope called Big Ear was scanning the skies from a field in Ohio. Jerry Eman, an astronomer working the night shift, noticed something unusual in the data printout. A signal spike so powerful it stood out like a scream in a quiet room. He grabbed a red pen and circled the sequence, 6EQUJ5. Next to it, he wrote one word: wow. The transmission lasted 72 seconds. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, roughly 120 light-years away. Then, it vanished. Researchers pointed the telescope back at that exact spot hundreds of times over the following decades. Nothing. The signal never returned. To this day, no one has produced a natural explanation that fits all the data. Number 2. Most people have never heard of LGM1. In 1967, astronomers at Cambridge detected a signal pulsing with perfect regularity. Every 1.33 seconds. No variation. The researchers were so convinced it might be artificial that they named it Little Green Men. Turns out it was the first pulsar ever discovered, a spinning neutron star. But here's the detail worth remembering. For weeks, serious scientists genuinely believed they had found evidence of alien intelligence. The name they chose tells you everything about what they were afraid of. Number 3. In 2003, the SETI at Home project flagged a signal called SHGB02+14A. It was detected 3 separate times, always from the same patch of sky between the constellations Pisces and Aries. The frequency was around 1,420 megahertz, the same wavelength hydrogen emits, and exactly where scientists would expect an intentional transmission to appear. The problem? There's nothing visible in that region. No star, no planet, no known source. The signal remains unexplained. SETI researchers quietly stopped talking about it. Number 4. December 2020. Astronomers working on the Breakthrough Listen project detected something strange coming from Proxima Centauri, the closest star to our solar system. They called it BLC1. The signal was narrowband, meaning it occupied a very specific frequency, the kind of transmission natural sources almost never produce. For a few weeks, scientists called it the most significant candidate signal in SETI history. Then the announcement stopped. The follow-up paper never came. When pressed, researchers said it was probably interference. Probably. Number 5. You ever wonder what happens to the data that doesn't fit? In 1993, the US Congress cut all federal funding for SETI. The official reason was budget priorities, but some researchers noticed the timing. The cuts came shortly after a string of unexplained detections that generated internal debate about how to handle public disclosure. Coincidence? Maybe. But the pattern repeated in 2011 when the Allen Telescope Array went into hibernation just as it was ramping up its search capacity. Number 6. The Big Ear telescope, the one that captured the wow signal, was demolished in 1998. Ohio State University said the land was needed for a golf course expansion. No monument was built. No plaque marks the spot where humanity's most famous unexplained signal was received. The equipment was scrapped. Some researchers found that strange. Others found it suspicious. Number 7. Frank Drake, the astronomer who created the famous equation estimating the number of alien civilizations, allegedly kept a private list of signals he considered too controversial to publish. According to colleagues, he believed some detections would cause public panic or invite ridicule that could damage the entire field. The list, if it exists, has never been released. Number 8. In 2004, a telescope in Australia detected what would later be called the first fast radio burst. The signal lasted just 5 milliseconds. Researchers dismissed it as equipment malfunction and ignored it for 3 years. When they finally went back to analyze the data, they realized it came from billions of light years away. The energy required to produce it was staggering. They had almost thrown away one of the strangest discoveries in radio astronomy. Number 9. Tabby's star sits about 1,400 light years from Earth. In 2015, astronomers noticed its light dimming by as much as 22% at irregular intervals. No known natural phenomenon could explain the pattern. Some researchers floated the idea of an alien megastructure, a so-called Dyson sphere harvesting the star's energy. The theory was mocked, but it was never disproven. Scientists eventually settled on dust clouds as the likely cause. The irregular dimming continues. Number 10. FRB 121102 changed everything researchers thought they knew about fast radio bursts. Detected in 2012, this signal didn't just flash once and disappear. It repeated, again and again from the same location, a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away. The bursts followed no predictable schedule, but they kept coming. No known natural mechanism explains why a source would behave this way. Scientists published papers speculating about magnetars, neutron stars, even colliding black holes. None of the theories fit perfectly. The signal kept repeating anyway. Number 11. Then came FRB 180916. This one did something even stranger. It operated on a 16-day cycle, 4 days of bursts, then 12 days of silence, over and over with clockwork precision. Researchers suggested it might be a neutron star in a binary orbit, its signal blocked periodically by a companion, but no companion was ever confirmed. The regularity was too perfect, too structured. Some astronomers quietly admitted they had no good explanation. Number 12. FRB 202000120E shouldn't exist. It came from a globular cluster, a dense ball of ancient stars where nothing dynamic should be happening. These stellar nurseries aged out billions of years ago. Repeating fast radio bursts aren't supposed to emerge from dead neighborhoods. Yet, there it was. Scientists shrugged and moved on. Number 13. In 2022, researchers reanalyzed the original WOW signal using new computational methods. Their findings suggested the transmission had properties inconsistent with any known form of terrestrial or satellite interference. The paper received minimal coverage. No follow-up investigation was announced. Number 14. Remember BLC-1, the signal from Proxima Centauri? After the initial excitement in 2020, the Breakthrough Listen team went silent. No detailed analysis was published. No press conferences. When journalists asked for updates, they got vague responses about ongoing review. The most promising signal candidate in decades, and the people who found it stopped talking about it. Number 15. Before the Arecibo telescope collapsed in 2020, operators reported detecting anomalous patterns in their data streams. Structured noise, they called it. Patterns that didn't match any cataloged source. The telescope fell before the analysis was complete. The data was never released to the public. Number 16. The CHIME telescope in Canada detected FRB 20180814A in 2019. 13 separate bursts from the same source, each arriving at predictable intervals. Researchers described the pattern as clock-like. That word kept appearing in the literature, clock-like, as if something was keeping time. Number 17. In 2021, China's FAST telescope, the largest radio dish in the world, detected what researchers initially called a suspicious signal. The announcement made international headlines for about 6 hours. Then the team retracted their statement, claiming the signal was probably radio interference from Earth. No detailed explanation was provided. The original data was never shared. Number 18. The James Webb Space Telescope has been scanning exoplanet atmospheres since 2022, looking for chemical signatures that might indicate life. Early results showed anomalies on several worlds, combinations of gases that don't occur naturally without biological processes. Those findings were classified as under review. Years later, they remain under review. Number 19. In 2023, Pentagon officials testified before Congress about unidentified aerial phenomena. Buried in the testimony was a reference to non-human signal intelligence. No details were provided. No follow-up questions were allowed. The phrase sat there in the official record, unexplained. Number 20. Some scientists have started inverting the Fermi paradox. The old question was why we haven't heard from alien civilizations if they exist. The new question is different. What if we have heard from them? What if the signals are sitting in databases, flagged as anomalies, waiting for someone to take them seriously? Number 21. The pattern is hard to ignore. Detect something unusual, study it briefly, announce nothing conclusive, move on. Funding dries up, data gets archived, telescopes get demolished or collapse, and the signals keep coming from empty patches of sky, from the nearest star, from galaxies billions of light years away. Nobody knows for sure what any of it means. But maybe the question isn't whether we've received a message from somewhere else. Maybe the real question is whether we're allowed to know. The silence, it turns out, is the loudest signal of all.